To answer your question, Sandra, you're the second person that has asked me that. And I'm going to be very honest, because that's all I know how to be, and that's the way I am, is I'm going to trust, because, you know, it's in August the 9th, so it's a couple months down the road, but because everything I've done has been intuitive in the moment, very much in the moment. And I may have ideas, and it's funny you're saying that. This song here, that would be a great one to play there, and I agree with you. And at the same time, as you know, because I channel energy, I'm not in control. And sometimes I start a song and I just can't do it, even though I thought I could do it, but I can't. And it's just the way it works with me. And so, yeah, that tune, this is actually, what channel, I think last week it was, because it actually goes like this. That's how it was originally channeled, like that. And I mucked around with it a little bit after that, and then having difficulty getting on here. And I've been just sitting here playing. And finally, what they did is they shut down my live stream that was on YouTube and Facebook. I delete the one on Facebook. I have to go find it on YouTube. And so I was playing here, and I said, oh, I guess that one ended, so I'll start this one. And you guys just come in as I was just doing my thing, and it was great. Okay, let's see where we go. Here we go. Hello, Andrea. Hello, Sandra, my longtime sister, and Jennifer. And we got somebody new here. I think it's Perry, I believe it is. Perry TV or something like that. Anyway, on a very quick note, every time we have an experience is an opportunity to see our growth, because God will never put anything before you that you're not actually able to handle. And some of you guys know what I've been going through for the last, what? It's going to be 4 weeks this Saturday. And I'm going to add, was I on yesterday? I can't remember. Yeah, I was on yesterday. But because I take time to process something, because not everything we think is real is really real, because sometimes we filter things from our own wounds. And yesterday at the gathering, I was shunned by 4 people, badly. The 5th person wasn't actually that bad compared to the other 4. And that really hurt. Yeah, okay, it was yesterday. Thanks, Jen. And so I've been, I don't know what the word is, building up, processing, being very clear within myself. If I go to speak something, I need to be very clear, direct, bottom line. And these 2 people that I have very high respect for, care about, because they're great people, I sent them a long voice message, just expressing just that fact is, you guys shunned me. That's not okay. That was really the bottom line. Everything I shared, I expressed how hurt I am by them. They weren't there, so I turned around and said exactly what happened from the moment she opened her mouth. And how I went to 3 different people just to verify I heard what I heard. They all verified it. Then I decided, okay, I'm going to speak at the next meeting, which I did. I was very clear, and it was just like crazy. So anyway, and then yesterday happened. It was just, I did not expect that. Not that I look for it. None of us do. But the truth and reality, it was what it was. And depending on how everything goes, I'm not, there's one thing I expressed in my audio thing to them, is when people realize they made a mistake, and they see that, and they go, oh shit. Even with myself, if I thought that I had hurt anybody, I would take responsibility for that, and I would go to the person and say, I'm sorry. But that's my integrity. I had a conversation with somebody a couple of days ago about the exact same thing, and that's why I like her. She's kind, considerate, clear, right? And so I think it's quite interesting, people's behavior. It's like, one friend said to me, are these still in high school or something? These are all women that are 60s, in their 60s. Yeah. And I appreciate what I expressed as well. I appreciate the fact that it's your friend. I get that. I get the fact it's your friend. But here's what she said. And that's not okay. Because if anybody puts yourself in somebody else's shoe, how would they feel? Right? And as sometimes we say something, we go, oh, damn. Right? And if I'm going to be judged, being shunned is being judged on something that nobody was there for, they're only hearing whatever that person's version is, right? But they're not being totally transparent with all the truth. Because people are great at, you know, making it sound like, oh, Ernie was so mean to me. No, what you said was not okay, right? And I will speak up. And that's me finding my voice and saying, this is not okay. Do I have to, you know, what I find, it's like I had a choice. You know, I could sit here and be quiet and wallow in this stuff and feel hurt when I haven't done anything, or do I speak up? I chose to speak up. And I made sure they knew. I said, my doors are wide open, even for her, the other one, which is their friend. Because I'll have more respect for people who have the integrity to see, yeah, maybe what I said could have been phrased a lot differently. Exactly. Exactly. And, you know, it's like if this person doesn't want to support me in what I do, without even knowing what in the hell I do, right? Hasn't got a clue. Whatever it is, because you know how God, here we go. You know how that thing goes, that is what you don't like in somebody else is actually about yourself, because it's a reflection of her. So I'm this very strong person, which she is too. I can see that. But what she doesn't like about me is the fact I speak up. But I'm speaking clearly with love and caring and being real. And, you know, it's quite interesting. Dynamics, I guess would be the word, is I do my utmost best, and we all do, try not to take what we're in or going through and project it onto other people, right? And we're all dysfunctional. I'm dysfunctional. The difference is with me is I'm willing to look and explore and understand myself, why this or why that. It's the same thing years ago. This was around 2015. Yeah, around 2015, Susan Woodward, who lives in the Lower Mainland of Vancouver, close to where I live, because I live in the Lower Mainland as well. And there's all these other big cities, and we just call it the Lower Mainland. She posted this thing about a covert narcissist. So I read the article that she had posted, and it was like a light bulb went off, because that was my situation I was in at that time. Who I was dealing with was a covert narcissist. But what I was also able to do shortly thereafter is able to look at my past relationships being with the same kind of personality, shall we say, behavior, to my family of origin. I was familiar with that. It's comfortable for me. Doesn't mean I like it, but it's comfortable because it's familiar to me. And, you know, it's interesting, you know, what we do, because you can't change something unless you're able to identify it. Every situation you come into or go through, etc., is an opportunity for you to look at what it is. Because, you know, like even with myself, like I'm very careful what healers I work with. I'm very, very selective, and I think a lot of us are. And because I'm not broken, you're not broken, none of us are broken. We have these wounded parts of ourselves. And that's what I see in this lady who was rude to me. This wounded little girl. I see it, I feel her. And, you know, we can muddle our way through life, surviving, existing. To me, living is living authentic and real. It's not doing stuff, what other people may think it is. For me, it's about me connecting with my heart, with my soul, and getting in touch with who I am, not what I think I am, but who I am. You know, like even when I say I am the soulful guitarist, I am that. And if you think by me saying that I'm egotistical, fuck you. There's no ego here. It's knowing within me this part of that I am, because it took me a while to not come to terms, but accept this and embrace this, that I am. And it's through a lot of people that are here, like Andrea, Sandra, who've been around for quite a while now. Like with you guys, you all helped me to see myself. That may not make sense, but it's true. You know, because it's like this little girl inside of me who's very wounded didn't want to speak up to say, you know, I'm pretty good, because of the judgment and criticism of others. It's the same thing, you know, when I recorded my first album, I sent it to all my family members. Everybody got a copy, even though I wasn't talking to a lot of them, but I still sent them a copy. And when I talked to my dad, you know, because I think we didn't talk for 16 years or whatever it was, because he's a belligerent asshole drunk. And he asked me why I didn't. I told him exactly why. But of course, I said it kindly and lovingly, respectfully, but it's the truth. And I said to Dad, I said, did you get my package with my album? He goes, yeah. And I'm sitting there going, okay, so what did you think? Well, some of those songs are pretty long. You could shorten those down. And now, I could let that remark, comment from him, go to my heart. It didn't. I knew he did not understand what I do. I know Dad's on the other side now. He does understand what I do. And how incredible I am at what I do. My guitar's my soulmate. I've been saying that since 2017 about. Sorry, 1996. Sorry, I just realized what I said. 1996, you know, when I start my healing journey. And that to me means I opened up to my own thoughts, my own feelings, my own emotions. I would channel that energy through my guitar. That's how the relationship really started. It was already there, but it really started on that journey. And that's where all the music on my first album, Me, Myself, and I, comes from. That first part of my journey. Which even includes my mom's song. My friend Doreen McCluskey, I channeled her energy, and her song is called Soulful Connection. Reverend Catania Kyler, she had, I'll rephrase that, she had a spiritual center in Nanaimo, and when I connected with her, it was the part of me that was missing, which was my spirituality. And through her, I was able to find that. And not on a religious base. It's spiritual base. And her song is called Instrumental Silence. And like even today was, I think I started to see this yesterday, Jennifer was here yesterday, that is hurtful as the things have been said to me and now done to me, the reflection of her, you know, I don't want to say the word consequences, but because there shouldn't be any consequences for somebody speaking up for themselves and standing up for themselves. But in this case, it happened, right? But it's their dysfunction. So I have free will to decide, do I allow that to affect me or not? And I'm choosing not to. But I'm also standing up and holding everybody accountable who's engaging on that level. Because it is pure dysfunction. Like a lot of my post is reflection of what I'm going through in the moment, or something I can totally relate to. I don't post anything that I'm not able to resonate with or any of that. I can't do that. And even in the moment, I'll sit there and, you know, I'll save something and then it comes up and I go, oof, because it was the momentary thing that I saved it. And out of this experience that I've had for the last 4 weeks, that I made conscious choices. And it really, the bottom line is, enough is enough. I'm done. I could sit back and wallow in my poor, self-pity, but that isn't me. That isn't me. It was never me. I've always, I'm realizing more and more with every experience I do have, is that just how much I've grown. And I don't, because I don't like somebody, I don't have to treat them like an asshole, or they don't matter. That isn't how I operate. It's like that thing, it's like you can't force somebody to be friends with you. Absolutely not. And I have absolutely zero expectations from anybody. Zero expectations. I'll tell you one thing, it has saved me a lot of heartache and a lot of pain. If I do something, I do it unconditionally, because it feels right. Because it feels right. Yeah. Quite the journey. And I noticed you guys missed the first part when I was playing, because there's restream difficulties. And I don't even think the YouTube went on. I don't know. I tried to check earlier, but is that the energy when I started playing, I went, whoa. Because it tells me a lot about myself. Just how I've moved in and through all this. I feel very solid inside. I've always been solid. And because of that solidness that I know I am, that can be intimidating by people, because I don't cower down and go, I'm sorry. Right? If I have something to be sorry about, I'll say I'm sorry. And that's, you think how many times we've all sat there and said I'm sorry to different people, because it's like we're taking on responsibility for us speaking out. We have nothing to be sorry about. So it's like replacing words and being conscientious as we speak each and every single word. What is our true intention with those words? It's like calling somebody an asshole. We get frustrated. I get frustrated. Sometimes I go, that's a fucking asshole. Because that is what it is. But do I linger on with that? Nope. I say it, it's done. But we also have to be very careful about the words we use when I say this. I posted this, I think it was a couple of days ago. If we actually feel the energy, just feel this energy with this word I'm going to say right now. The word should and the word have to. Those two words. The weight. I have to go see so-and-so, they're not doing well. Have to? Or I should go and see so-and-so because they're not doing well. You should? How about you could? Because could, that word could is empowering for you to honor yourself. It's the same thing when my counselor, when I was working with her for, 2.5, 3 years, whatever it was, I was working with her. And I would say certain things, and she would say to me, well, you could. So if you had a choice, would you really want to go there? No. Right? So if you really don't want to go, so why are you going? Well, because I want to be helpful to that person. Now that's a completely different picture right there. To say you should go, you have to. Right? That's the old program. Honor exactly where you're at. Do what feels right for you. You owe nobody anything, nothing. But you owe yourself. You owe yourself. to honor you in this very moment. Because that's all we have, is this very single moment. And on that note, it is 9:01. I'm going to say good night. Thank you for hanging out now or later. And we'll see you when the page turns, which is tomorrow. I think I'm going to have a very peaceful, restful sleep, which I have had. Nothing's interrupted my sleep. It's just, I took care of this. But kindly and lovingly. That's all I